Hello, hi, how are you doing today? So, forgive me if I fly off the handle in the middle of this, but it's a kind of tough story to tell. So, I want to tell you today why you've probably seen me a lot over the last couple of years, and the injury that happened. So, back in 2019, May 1st, I had gotten injured. I used to work for FedEx, and apparently, it was quite the ordeal. Man. I tried to get past it and talked about it a lot, but things are looking slightly better, but not as good as they were before 2019. And I do understand this happens to people sometimes, and it's better to suck it up and move on, but this is me. It's my life, so I'm the one who has the last call on something like that. So I'm not exactly sure whether or not I'm going to show some pictures of some things that I, delivered or picked up. But if I do, then I'm pretty sure you'll be seeing them throughout the video. So, what's the best way to describe it? You do everything right, and yet you're still wronged. It feels something like that. And I have a very hard time thinking about the situation and trying to move past it nice and clean. And I miss my customers dearly, but I feel on one hand I would go back to visit them, but on the other, if I had seen my boss, things wouldn't end so well. I'm sorry, this might seem a little odd, but I'm not really used to recording my thoughts like this. So, I'm trying to think of the best way to explain what happened, but I wasn't feeling so hot that week. I was letting my boss know. He denied me the time. I came into work, I went to lift up the boxes, and then there was a sharp pain throughout my back. It was so intense I couldn't exactly tell where it was coming from. And because of the fact that I was used to being hurt at work, I thought maybe a day off and I'd be fine and I'll be able to go back to work. But that wasn't the case. So after trying for several odd days to come in and actually do my job, I did it terribly, and I needed help to do it every single day that I did do it. I went to the doctor and they said, well, you're done. It's a workers' comp case. So that's why more or less you've seen me a lot since 2019. And if you haven't seen me a lot, then you're probably new and recently started seeing my name. So I guess in a sense, thank you for viewing the video and for chatting with me. It was some of the toughest times I had to deal with. And it was like going from injury to pandemic. For me, it was a bit easier because by that time I was already kind of more or less locked up in home since I couldn't really move. I'm wondering if this is going to be permanent, something that I'm dealing with. And it saddens me to think about how strong and able I was, and now I'm not. So it's just stuff I'll have to deal with. I am doing a bunch of things, going to see a bunch of different doctors, and fighting to get back some sort of semblance of normalcy. And sometimes it just feels like I'll never reach it, but I can definitely say today I feel better than I did last year, but I do not feel anywhere near like I used to feel. In which case, I may have more videos coming up about some stories I had from FedEx. Some of them are pretty wild. In which case, I may be in some tabloid somewhere because I ran into a celebrity and they kind of swamped us. There was this one with a ticking box. Wouldn't you like to know how that one ended? I mean, you hear me, so you know I lived. Or did I? And I'm trying to think. Well, at least, let me leave you with this. My perspective on a lot of things have changed over the last couple of years. And before, being honest and working hard definitely felt like it was the right thing to do. And I still sort of believe that, but I can really understand why there'll be a lot more people who are slackers, and that's because they're not treated right. And maybe if I wasn't so dedicated, I probably wouldn't have been injured, but I am. A part of me kind of want to actually show you around the area that I worked, but it's easier to just tell you it was Midtown Manhattan. So there was a chance you've seen me if you were there between, let's say, 2012 and 2019. They were very interesting times. So, when it comes down to the injury, at least, now it's kind of calmed down a little bit, but there's some there's still some strong issues I'm dealing with when it comes to nerves. So, well, I can't do things the way I used to. If you have any other questions, feel free to let me know. I'll try to get into the habit of making videos. Sometimes it can be a little bit rough when you're dealing with stuff, but we each have our own battles, so I'll leave you with this. Sometimes, when things seem their worst, and you think you can't make it through, hold on a little longer, they'll get a little brighter. Alright, take care, and hopefully I'll see you again soon.